Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
21 times and he's always fucking missed it. Now I can go left or right, and I know that no matter which way I go, I'm probably gonna have to trudge all the way back to go the other way. But this way seems to lead to these boats, so fuck it, let's go this way. Well, I don't even know why I'm coming here, to be honest. Not like I'm gonna be able to do anything. So I guess I might trigger another paragraph from this mental case's diary. This game won awards and shit. I paid actual money for this. I paid money for a fucking walking simulator. It's literally just walking. It's the only thing I can do.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Oh my fucking god, mate, shut the fuck up. Can I throw myself off one of these cliffs? Just in case that this absolute nonsense that's being spoken is by me. That is a big hole.
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
I mean, on the one hand, I know I'm gonna have to repeat things if I do this, and repeating anything in this game is mind-numbing. But on the other, I do want to throw myself down here just to feel the satisfaction of killing this asshole.
Come back.
Stack an armen. What does that mean? Die from falling off a cliff once. The game was expecting me to do that. The game knows. The game's like, hey, they're gonna fucking hate this guy. He's such a pretentious dumbass twat that they're gonna want to kill him. So let's give them a trophy for it. Holy shit, could he be walking slower? I'm practically snapping my analog stick off here.
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
Mate, Jesus fucking Christ. Doesn't seem very excited about this rebirth, the fucking pace that he's crawling up this hill.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
You know what, this is fucking typical. This is just a nice wee peaceful Scottish island. Nobody's harming anyone, just living their lives. And then some fucking English twat that fancies himself a fucking poet has to move here and think even being here is some kind of transformative experience. No mate, you're just on a fucking island. That's all this is. Stop thinking it's more. People have lived here and survived here and just gotten on for hundreds of fucking years. And now you come in writing fucking sonnets about it. Shut the fuck up.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
Notice how they never gave this absolute prick a Scottish accent? Do you notice that?
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
You don't get Scottish people fucking off to Scottish islands acting like a twat like this. It's always English people. Sometimes it's Americans.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, wintered tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Okay, so it's not me, because I definitely haven't broken my femur. And what do you mean I think the femur's broken? I think you fucking know when your femur's broken, by the way. They call that the worst pain a human can endure. Of course this guy's got to make a fucking poem out of it. Oh, the candles. So there must be someone here right now then. Otherwise, who the hell turned this candle on? What the fuck is this? Alright, let's go. Jakobsen.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
Right, well that's where I'm going to stop for now. I'll pick this back up in the next video. Thanks for watching.